So what are your guys' New Year's Eve plans this year?
I'm going to be going and hitting mill.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally kidding.
She wasn't kidding.
I'll just be staying home and celebrating and watching on TV if New York or whatever is doing the ball drop this year. I don't know. I'm sure they will, but obviously no one there.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing too special.
What about you, Montae?
I haven't decided yet. I was supposed to go to New York to visit my dad, but I'm not 100% sure if we're still doing it. But I'm trying to decide if I'm even going to be here for New Year's. I might just take a trip. So I'm not 100% sure on that yet. But I know last year was a good New Year's. Man, that was definitely top 5. But this year, with the pandemic and everything, so it's going to be a little different. But I'm not going to say
what you
why.
do last year?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about what I did last year. Just know I had a good time.
He doesn't remember what he did last year, but he thinks it was good.
I know what I did last year, and let me just say that tequila is nothing to be played with. Hey, man, that definitely gave me a headache. Shout out to my guy who let me try some tequila from Mexico.
It's your tequila dealer.
Nah, see, you saying it like that just makes it so weird.
You're the one who made it seem like you did something all shady when all you did was get drunk.
It wasn't. No, oh hell no, it was nothing shady. Like he just had a good time. He has family out there, and like they had a bottle of tequila from Mexico that we don't have here, and we took a couple shots for New Year's, and I was feeling fine for a couple hours, and then like. It hit me like a tornado or something like that.
One tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, floor.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was probably 4 shots. So I had like a major headache the next day. I was like, goodness. So, but hey, it was still a good time though. So
man, those late 20s hangovers are nothing to be played with. Like, dude, I used to be able to just rally and just drink the next day and be like, let's keep going. And now I wake up and I'm like, I need a bath and Chipotle and no one speak to me for 2 days.
That's how I am in my early 20s. So.
I don't have anything planned for this New Year's either. I think it's just going to be me and my husband and my dog and my cat. Might go for a bike ride, and then maybe we'll get some food and like, I don't know. Maybe in my head, I'm like, let's get dressed up and sit in the patio and have a romantic dinner. But I know when the time comes, I'm going to be like, let's just put on sweatpants. Screw it. Like, I don't want to get ready.
I feel that.
Recorded live in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Junkie. So we are into our end of the year special. So there's a lot of great things going on outside of the holidays. But I do have 2 ladies that want to introduce themselves. Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Shauna.
I'm Nicole.
Okay. Nice to finally meet you, ladies.
Nice to meet you guys.
I'm just kidding.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so since it's our end of the year special, we're going to talk a lot about music that you've been keeping up with and some things that you ended off on. So, we had that thing with the Spotify rap, which was all over social media. Everyone was posting what they've been listening to for this year. So, ladies, what did your Spotify come up with?
My top song was Nonstop by Drake, which I was very surprised at. I don't know the last time I listened to that song.
Ooh, okay.
My top artist was my girl Billie Eilish. I was in her 0.5% of top listeners. So if she is listening, I love you, Billie. Please come and be a guest on this podcast. We would love to have you. Let's see. Obviously, Pop Culture Junkie was my top podcast, along with Crime Junkies. My top artists were Billie Eilish, Luke Combs, Rascal Flatts, Khaled, I don't even know his name, and he's in my top 5, and Drake.
Nice. All right.
Okay. What about you, Shauna?
So my number one artist was Lady Gaga. And honestly, my top 5 songs were all Lady Gaga songs off of Chromatica. Definitely had that album on repeat this year. So my top 5 artists were Gaga, AFI, Ghost, Bob Moses, and Calvin Harris, which surprised me a lot because I love Calvin. I saw him at a Vegas pool party a couple years ago, which was incredible. Ooh. Oh my God. Just before times things that we can think back to, the good old days. But I also bought myself like an individual size inflatable pool this summer. And I spent a lot of summer days just in my backyard in my inflatable pool with a 6-pack of White Claws next to me. And I wanted to like recreate my Vegas pool party. So I had a lot of Calvin Harris playing. So that makes a lot of sense now.
I love that.
Yeah. I also had, let's see here. I listened to a lot of this singer named Kanga. She's really cool. She's dropping some new music this week, I think. She's just kind of like a goth industrial singer. I listened to, let's see here, Disjecta Membra. I listened to a lot of She Wants Revenge. I loved She Wants Revenge. I still love them, but they announced that they were breaking up this year, which was so sad. So I listened to them a lot, but one of the singers just formed a new band called Love, Ecstasy, Terror. So I've been listening to them a lot too. But yeah, I guess a lot of Lady Gaga. And my top podcast of the year, of course, was Pop Culture Junkie. And then My Favorite Murder, and also Buffering the Vampire Slayer. So it's this cool podcast where every episode they watch a different episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and break it down and talk about it. So that was my Spotify Wrapped.
Okay, I like it. For me, I guess this year was a lot of rap music that I listened to a lot this year. Surprisingly, though, my number one song was by an artist called Sir, and it was called Oh Nah Nah, and it was like, I remember listening to this song because it has like, I don't know how to to describe it, but it's like a smooth jam to it. And I remember listening to it because it was one of the first songs I was listening to when Kobe died. That's when I first started listening to it. Aww. And I think I listened to it like that whole day, to be honest with you. So that explains why it was number one. And then and then after that, it was just like a couple other artists. Roddy Ricch, Drake, Lil Baby, Yo Gotti. It was a couple of those artists that made it into my top 5. So, and then also I discovered that I was really big on podcasts, which is something that, I listen to anyway, but I listen to Tony Evans' podcast. It's very spiritual, get me rolling through the day, especially during the week type when I have time. And then they had, Shaq has his own podcast called A Big Podcast with Shaq, and I don't know how it made it there, but I only listened to 1.5 episode. I really just haven't listened to it, but they put that in there to my top 2 podcasts that I've been listening to. So, I mean, I guess we'll give it to you, Shaq. But I mean, when I listened to it, I wasn't just too thrilled about it. It was okay, but we'll keep it in there, I guess. So with COVID and everything, there's a lot of things we're missing out on. So going into this year, what are some things you ladies can say that you missed out on, and some things that you missed, and what are you looking forward to going into this new year?
Oh my gosh, I had so many concert tickets that I had bought at the end of 2019 or just early 2020 when we were all so bright and young and full of life and anyway, so I had tickets to see Circa Survive, which is one of my favorite bands, and I ended up not being able to see them. The tickets got refunded. I've seen them a lot, but it was still disappointing. And then I also had tickets to see Pussy Riot this year. And so Pussy Riot is a female punk rock band from Russia. Very politically charged in Russia. They're very anti-Putin. They do a lot of stunts in Russia. They've ended up in jail a lot, and they are doing a tour in the United States, and they're coming to Phoenix. So I had Pussy Riot tickets, and that didn't happen. And my biggest heartbreak of all, like pop culture and these things I wanted to do wise, is I had tickets to Riot Fest in Chicago, and it was supposed to be in September. And it was part of My Chemical Romance's reunion tour. And they were going to be headlining. And I freaking love My Chemical Romance. And I haven't seen them since, my emo heydays in like 2006. So that kind of sucks. It was going to be a girl trip with like my best friend Jessica and then my friend Allison with us. So good thing is anybody who bought tickets for 2020, it's being rolled over, and now we all have the tickets for 2021. And My Chem is still going to be the headliner. So now I just have like a countdown in my phone. Let's see here. How many days until Riot Fest? 282 days, and then I can finally go to that concert. So, woo! What about you guys? What are some things that you had planned this year that didn't end up happening?
Well, for me, it's not so much like pop culture stuff. I mean, I wanted to go to a lot of concerts. I never bought the ticket for the concert, but I had plans to go, like the Billie Eilish concert. I think Luke Combs, I can't remember if his concert happened or not, but him for sure. But more personal things, I missed out on my college graduation, which sucked. And then I missed out. My sister had to cancel her wedding and move it to next year. I guess it's kind of like pop culture, not really pop culture, but don't laugh at me. But the NASCAR championship in November, I would have probably gone to that if it was not limited fans.
Where's it going to be at, or where was it?
It was at Phoenix Raceway. What else? Baseball games. I'm obsessed with baseball, so not being able to go to sporting events sucked.
Yeah, I definitely missed Phoenix Suns games this year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I would say that's like my main things. I'm not a big concert goer person, but I had a few planned to go to. But yeah, it was more so like personal things that I missed out on.
Which is more important than concert tickets anyway. So
no, because if you're excited, it's something you love.
No, I'm so sorry you missed out on all that stuff.
That's okay. It'll happen. I mean, college graduation won't happen, but the sister's wedding will happen eventually.
Yeah, good. What about you, Montae?
Well, for my birthday, didn't really get to do anything exciting for my birthday because I was supposed to go to Vegas. Was unable to do so for that. The whole not being able to see my family as much because of COVID. But yeah, that and not being able to go to any sporting events. I definitely wanted to check out some WNBA. I wanted to see, check out Phoenix Mercury. I wanted to see them play. And then I think not only that, just the gym is a lot different now. Normally go to the gym, play some pickup games. Now you can't even really just play basketball as much. So it's just been like a lot of changes. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to going into 2021.
Dude, my workout game just sucked this year. I entered 2020. I was so pumped. I had this new app. I downloaded the Sweat app, and I was just like, I'm going to be like the fittest I've ever been in my entire life. And that didn't quite happen.
But since we're talking about shows and things of that nature, what is the best show best performance you were able to see live in person?
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. I would just say I've seen Lady Gaga 4 times, I think, at this point. And all of her performances are just freaking incredible. She doesn't lip sync a thing. She dances. She plays the piano. She has props. The sets are just incredible. She changes outfits 7 times and it's just on point the entire time. Every time I see Lady Gaga, I cry. Because it's just, it's one of those cries where it's you get so excited. You're just she's so pretty. She's so beautiful. So, yeah, Gaga, I mean, no specific performance. I saw her Enigma residency in Vegas for my 30th birthday, and that was incredible. So we'll go with that one.
Okay. Nicole?
My favorite performance, me getting ready in the mirror. No, I'm kidding. Overall, it would definitely be, I think I mentioned this before in an episode, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill when they toured together last year, I want to say it was. He's my favorite country artist of all time. So I got front row tickets for my mom and I was able to touch Faith Hill's hand. So that's definitely the best concert I've been to. Yeah.
Nice.
That's smooth. Okay. I would have to say Kanye West. I was able to see him perform in Michigan. And yeah, that's when he had the floating stage. And that
okay, wait, is this like only sings about Jesus Kanye, or is this like raps all the good stuff, like all of his hits Kanye?
Yeah, all of his hits Kanye.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And yeah, this one he had that song Famous. Man, he had a lot of good songs. Yeah, that concert, like I still like get memories from my Snapchat that pops up here and there. And I was like, dang. And like it's crazy because like my friend, she invited me, like one of my really good friends, we're like best friends. So we got tickets to go, and there was a girl that I actually like, and me and her were talking, and she was like, hey, I have floor seats to the Kanye West show. And I was like, damn, this is tough, because I didn't want to ditch my friend, even though that's what I was this close to.
Please tell me you ditched your friend.
I did not.
Dang it.
You're a good person.
Yeah,
I'm
felt
team
so
ditch
bad.
the friend.
I was
sorry,
like,
friend, listening.
I was hurt, man, but like I still got to see her during the show. Like we kicked it before he started and stuff.
Well,
but she
good.
was like literally right under the floating stage, and like this was my college days. So
I'm not a big Kanye fan, but I do like I really like some of his earlier stuff. I love College Dropout and stuff. So I'm sure that was an incredible show.
Oh, it was.
So what do you guys feel about going to concerts by yourself?
Can't do it.
Really?
No.
What about you, Nicole?
I almost did for the Luke Combs one. I was going to. I did not care at that point. I wanted to see him so badly. I was willing to go by myself.
I absolutely encourage that. So, like, in 2019, I really wanted to see She Wants Revenge, and I didn't have any friends who really listened to them or who were available. And I could have dragged my husband along, but he was like, And so I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go by myself. And it was so cute because it was up the street from us. We lived in downtown Phoenix, and he dropped me off. So I felt like a little kid getting dropped off from school. He's like, bye. Be safe. And I was like, thanks. And my like platform goth boots, thanks, babe. And it was so much fun. Like I got a t-shirt. I got like a little tipsy. I got to sing at the top of my lungs and like not care because I knew all the words. And like, I had like a group of people around me that kind of like adopted me as their own. So then he came and picked me up, and I like had all my merch, just like I had a great time. So go to concerts by yourself, everybody. Screw what anyone thinks. So what are some like pop culture resolutions that you guys have for 2021? Is there anything that you want to do more of, listen to more of, something that you discovered this year that you're into, that you're like, I really want to like get more into that next year?
I think for me, one of my goals is to have this podcast become very big. Watch, I guess, maybe get more into like Marvel movies and stuff like that.
Yes.
Try and watch those, since we do talk about those a lot, and I'm
Come
always
to
silent.
the dork side.
Yes, I'll try and do that. That's a resolution. And listen to, I don't know, I'm open to like any genre of music. I'm not opposed to anything, but I don't know, maybe listen to more podcasts, because I don't really listen to many podcasts. Just this one, Crime Junkies, and that's it.
Nice.
Okay.
I want to read more next year. I have so many books that I buy, and then sometimes I'll get a chapter in and then I'll just put them down, and just because I find myself like scrolling mindlessly through my phone a lot when I'm bored and wasting time, and I should be freaking reading. So I want to read more books next year. And something I noticed looking at my Spotify Wrapped, and I mean, this is probably the same for a lot of people, but a lot of my songs have been on my Spotify Wrapped for the past like 4 years. And I listen to a ton of music. I feel like I'm always finding new things and making new playlists. But yeah, I definitely want to continue that next year and maybe not listen to some of the same songs over and over that I've been listening to forever. Yeah, and like you said, I want to grow Pop Culture Junkie as much as possible and grow my own brand and just, I don't know. I want this to become even more phenomenal than it already is.
Exactly.
What about you, Montae?
Not to sound like a robot coming from what you lady said, but pretty much about the same. I would love to see this podcast really take off, so we don't have situations where we have to record early because of work conflict, it's little issues that we can't control. But not only that, I want to get more involved into media, of course. I always work behind the scenes or on camera, so I want to get more involved with knowing how things work in that nature. Also get more involved in TV shows and stuff like that. Grey's Anatomy, I never really watched it. I just I read up on it because we have discussions about it. But yeah, I just want to get more involved in the pop culture overall and just expand a little bit. So I'm always been into sports, so basketball has always been like a big part of me, but I'm kind of like veering away from that stage and focusing on to other things. So I want to just expand a little more, so and probably start a little acting, since being able to get on the Bachelorette, or maybe start looking into that. Who knows what that could lead to. So yeah.
Something I don't know if I've told you guys is that in 2020 I got the opportunity to act in a movie, and it's supposed to be released next month. So far I've only seen a movie poster for it, but yeah, it was like an indie film in Phoenix, and I had 7 lines, which I practiced very hard. And I got paid for it. Now I have an IMDb page, so that's kind of cool.
Hey, that's dope.
Yeah, but it's something I definitely encourage, Montae, if that's like something that you want to get into. Like, there's tons of acting pages and things that you can find auditions for, and like
I've been looking for that. You gotta send me some links.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been researching, and like you find these pages, and they're always like, "Oh, you got to pay $30 a month." And I'm like, that just can't be real. Like, it might be, but I was like, nah, that doesn't sound right. So
there are things like that, but then there's also pages on Facebook that people just post like, oh, I'm looking for such and such person to audition for this film. I need a woman, or I need a man. I need, this kind of stuff. And then you could just show up. Like, I went in and I was like, there's no way they're going to give me this role. And honestly, I think that they gave it to me because my arms are covered in tattoos and I have like black hair, and they're like, we like your look. You ever been in a movie? No? That's cool. You're the goth chick. It's like, that's a stretch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Send me those links for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. We can all become movie stars and pop culture junkie.
That's how it starts. We could be up there with Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan, we coming for you, man.
We are coming. Let's talk about 2020 a little bit, and I guess just some trends that happened this year. Like, okay, so what do we want to take with us? What do we want to salvage from this year? And what do we want to throw into the 2020 dumpster fire?
We're keeping TikTok, that's for sure.
Are we?
Yeah, we're keeping it. We have to.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, legally, are we?
I think we are. I think we're coming to an agreement.
It's like it changes on a weekly basis. But for now, TikTok is staying.
Yeah. I like monochromatic outfits. Those can go into 2020. I think they're very fashionable. Okay. If you could do it the right way.
Like the stuff like Yeezy's line kind of looks like, where it's all like
the same color and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I like those, like a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Yeah.
I like that. Definitely oversized t-shirts, because I live in those. Those can go into 2020.
I love those. I love how all of the 2020 fashion trends are like sweatpants and hoodies. Right? It's like everyone knows what was up this year.
Yeah.
One trend that I will say is going to go into 2021 is masks. Wear your freaking masks, people.
See, I hope we can leave that in 2020, only for the fact that Corona is gone.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be for a while into 2021.
It definitely won't be, but no.
But yeah, I mean, I've kind of turned, like, I'm not going to pretend like wearing a mask is so much fun. Like, I definitely, like, I miss not wearing one, but I've turned it into a fashion accessory. Like, I try to match it to all of my outfits. I have a million different masks. I miss wearing lipstick because I freaking obsessed with lipstick. And I just don't see the point usually putting it on under my mask. So.
Right. I know. I'm like, I don't even wear makeup anymore, and I love makeup, but...
Right? Me too. It's like now I remember there was a certain time in my life where I would not go anywhere without a full face of makeup on. And now I'm at least like, well, I put on deodorant and I put on some eyebrows. So I think we're good to go.
Same.
Oh, and just quick shout out. We do sell Pop Culture Junkie masks at our shop online. So if you want to represent, get some of those. Here's a trend that I want to ask you about, Nicole. The foxy eye surgery. Have you seen that? So it's like...
No, I'm going to Google it right now.
Okay, so Bella Hadid has definitely had it done, which is fine. Like, shout out to anybody doing that kind of like plastic surgery, injectables, no hate. But it's basically like this trend where you like pull your eyes up and back and like they put like a lot of threading and stuff. So I saw that like all over Instagram this year.
Wow. I did not even know that was a thing.
Yes.
But, I mean, if you could pull it off and it's like an insecurity of yours, then go for it, I guess.
Right.
But, I don't know. I feel like if you do makeup, you could do it with makeup and not spend the money on surgery.
Right. Just fake it.
See, we guys, we don't have that problem. We don't have to worry about putting on makeup. So, you know, thank God for that.
Thank God that society doesn't pressure men to look a certain way at every given point in time, and that we have to.
Hold up, wait a minute now. We ain't going that. We're not going that direction because we do have to make sure that we're well groomed, get haircuts, look professional, look decent.
No, for sure. Women just definitely historically face a lot more pressure to adhere to certain beauty standards than men do, is all I'm gonna say.
I'm not disagreeing. Definitely not disagreeing. So, as far as trends go, all for Nike. Everything Nike has to go into 2021. What else we got here? Fitted t-shirts, polos, Calvin Klein. What else we got? Jordans. Anything that's like athletic attire, I'm all for it. We definitely need to keep that rolling. Yeah. As far as with the mask, I kind of just with what you said, Shauna, I just embrace it because I mean it's kind of like the new norm.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm just gonna wear whatever goes with the outfit. I always wear like a dark mask, so just because dark go with anything. But at this point, it kind of works out though, just because like for those who may have like a pimple on their face or something like that, like no one would never see it if you have the mask on. So unless you tell them, so it makes perfect sense. And of course we need to keep TikTok, as I said, just because like so many dances came out. They had one TikTok video where it was kind of like you were at a party. You know, like, did you guys see that one? And like you're in a party and you have everyone around you and they were like dance and they're like step, lean with, and it was like everyone
it's like a party simulator because none of us can be at parties right now. That's kind of cute.
That was probably the best one. Like I saw so many videos of that on social media when it first came out. Like you had all the celebrities doing it, so that was by far the best one I've seen. So yeah, definitely got to keep TikTok.
Let's see here. I think we can ditch plastic shoes because they're just sweaty and slick and weird.
Yes.
I'm going to say we keep bike shorts. I love bike shorts. You don't feel it, Nicole?
No.
Oh my God. I have so many freaking bike shorts. They're comfortable. They're high-waisted. They're stretchy. And if they have like a side pocket, oh my God, I'm all for it. That was me this summer. I had on my bike shorts, an oversized t-shirt, fanny pack, my Nikes. my mask, done. Let's leave Karens in 2020.
Oh, for sure.
Let's leave. Can I talk to the manager? Like complaining about everything. Let's leave calling the cops on Black people for just existing in public in 2020. Let's leave.
Let's leave racism in 2020.
Yes, let's leave racism and homophobia in 2020 and throw it in the dumpster fire where it belongs.
Yes, I agree. Or I'm going to say a fashion one. I just have to. Small sunglasses.
Ooh, do you like them or do you hate them?
I don't like them. Those can stay in 2020. I'm a big sunglasses type person. Also, every celebrity and their mom coming out with a documentary. I know I just talked about Billie Eilish, but I feel like every celebrity has come out with a documentary.
Yes. Oh, Jake and Logan Paul can stay in 2020. I am so effing sick of talking about them. I can't even picture what these dudes look like in my head. Just like two very mediocre white dudes. I got nothing.
Have you seen them?
I've seen them, but like they just... Oh, yeah. And he tore up Scottsdale. He took total like advantage of actual legitimate like Black Lives Matters protests and used his rich guy privilege and just like trashed a mall in Scottsdale. Stupid.
What else? Oh, we could bring more TV streaming networks into 2021. We can keep those.
Yeah, let's carry all of those over. But like, let's not increase the prices on them.
Right. I agree.
True.
All right. Who are some celebrities that we lost in 2020 that really affected you guys or do you think is going to just affect public discourse going forward? I know we lost a lot of people this year.
I think for me, which is probably one of the top for everyone, would definitely be Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I know that happened pretty early on. I think in February. Or January. I think February.
This year's been so freaking long. It's like...
Right? I know. Him and then Naya Rivera.
Oh, yeah. That was
just because of like the whole situation and how it actually happened. It was very sad. She was with her son who literally watched her drown. That's awful. Heartbreaking to me. So I would definitely say those two are probably ones that really shook me. I mean, I didn't cry over them just because, I don't know.
We all have our own emotional thresholds when it comes to like crying, if it's like somebody you know, or if it's just like something like gosh, that's just rough.
Who are some of yours, Shauna?
I think Regis Philbin. That was very sad. I remember like watching, Regis and Kathy Lee when I was younger, watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And I mean, Regis Philbin has such a long career. I know we've talked about it a lot over the course of the podcast, but Chadwick Boseman, I did cry over that one. That one was hard. Just so young and so like such a career ahead of him. Sean Connery died this year. Kirk Douglas, Kelly Preston. Kelly Preston was really sad too. I mean, all of these are sad, obviously.
Right.
But especially when someone is so young.
Yeah, for sure. And then Alex Trebek.
Yes, Alex Trebek died this year.
There's another, I forgot her name, but I'm going to look her up right now. She was like the housekeeper in 2.5 Men.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot her name. I'm going to look her up. Conchata Farrell. If I butchered that name, I apologize. But her, yeah, I liked her. I don't like the show 2.5 Men. I don't know. I just never got into it, but I did like her. I feel like she made the show. She was so funny.
Eddie Van Halen passed away this year. Rock and roll icon. Oh my gosh. I can't not mention the death that shook me the most this year. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away this year. Yeah. And I certainly cried over that one. I mean, just such an icon for women's rights, LGBTQ rights, just her dissent and her collars. Just, I mean, I love her. And I feel like her legacy is living on through, women in particular who are carrying on the work and the foundation that she laid down. So yeah, sad year. I mean, sad year altogether.
Oh yeah. Probably the craziest year ever that I've ever lived.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I do want to start eating a little better.
I feel like that's my resolution every single year for the past 15 years.
I mean, it's not that like I eat like crap all the time, but I do make unhealthy choices sometimes, quite a bit. So maybe like less. I mean, I don't really snack throughout the day, but you know, just better eating habits.
More conscious food choices.
Yeah. And then get my spending to a specific, like start making my coffee from home instead of going to Dunkin' every day.
Let's see here. I agree. I'm going to try to eat more consciously the things I'm putting in my mouth. So I did this last year. I'm going to do dry January again. So basically 1 whole month without drinking any alcohol. But I work at a bar. So anytime a new beer comes in and is added to our tap, I have to take a sip of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to, but I like to just take a tiny sip. Just
right.
And our manager encourages us to do that, so I can like talk about it with customers.
Talk about it exactly. No, I know what you mean. I worked at a bar. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I'm gonna call it dry-ish January.
I mean, it's for your job though, so it's not like you're doing it out of pleasure. You're doing it for work, so you could help the other customers who are there wanting to try a beer.
It's for work, but I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, this is the worst part of the job.
Right.
But I won't get my my shift beer anymore, so that kind of sucks. I always get like 1 beer for shift, but I can do it for January, and then my 32nd birthday is in February, so I'll just start off February with some cocktails.
There you go. Good way to celebrate.
So that's going to wrap it up for our New Year's end of year special. Just want to thank you guys all so much for listening. This is a new podcast and we're growing, and it's been really exciting the past 2 months. So just want to wish everyone a very happy New Year. Let's all cathartically and collectively take some deep breaths and throw 2020 into the dumpster fire that it belongs in.
Yes.
So this is Shauna Trinidad signing off.
All right, guys. Montae, you can follow me on Instagram _MHarris5. You can also find me on Facebook, Montae Harris.
This is Nicole, and you can find me at NALDredge14 on Instagram.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
When in Phoenix, be sure to visit Comics, where superheroes grab a bite.
Pop Culture Junkie is a production of Pop Culture Entertainment Group. All rights reserved.